A couple of weeks ago, I did a video on masking, and I used the Scor-Buddy to create the background. Well, so many of you have contacted me asking me how I created that background that I thought I would show you this week. What's nice about this background is that it's a clean and simple background, and it creates an edge so that you can have texture on the top and a smooth area on the bottom for stamping your greeting. Let me show you the tools and products you're going to need to do this technique. First, you're going to need your Scor-Buddy, and you're also going to need a piece of cardstock, and what I have here is a piece of the Gina K Designs Pure Luxury Ivory cardstock in the layering weight. And then I've already pre-stamped my greeting on the bottom of this piece of cardstock. Then I like to take a Sharpie, and I like to mark the 3-inch mark on the bottom of my Scor-Buddy, because I'm going to use that 3-inch mark, and I'm going to need both the top and the bottom to be visible to me. If you don't want this Sharpie mark on here down the line, you can just take a cotton ball and a little bit of rubbing alcohol and it'll come off pretty easily. So to begin, you're going to find a line just above your greeting that centers your greeting and gives it a nice, crisp, defined edge. So in this case, I'm going to use the 1 1/4 inch mark, and I'm going to just do a light score line down my cardstock at 1 1/4 inches. Now the reason why I did that is because I'm actually going to do a heavy score line the other way, but I need to know where that line is supposed to be because of my greeting. So now I flipped it over, and I'm going to do a nice, deep, heavy 1 1/4 inch line going down. And what that does is that gives me a nice defined line, and it allows me to work on creating texture up here, but gives me a stop point so that I don't create any texture where my greeting is. Okay, so for the next step, you're going to take the top corner of your piece of cardstock and line that up at 3 inches, and then bring the bottom corner down at the 3-inch mark as well. And then you can slide that down a little bit so you can get your tool in there easily. And you're going to start making score lines, and you're going to stop right before, just before, maybe right on that long line that goes across. And you're going to continue that on every 1/4 inch mark, going all the way down. Okay. And if you don't go all the way down to the line, that's okay. We can fix that later. We don't want to go over the line though, so you'd be better off just going a little bit before it, and then we can finish it off later. Now we're going to do the same thing going the other way. So I'm going to turn my cardstock, and then I'm going to put the bottom corner up at 3 inches and make sure that this one is lined up right at 3 inches on the bottom. And then I'm going to find, I can go backwards with my tool and find that 1/4 inch mark, and I can do the same thing going this way on this one, and I'm just going to keep going on all the 1/4 inch marks. That one's going to go right to the edge. Now I can start at the top again and go all the way across. You really want to make sure you hold onto the paper too, because if it shifts, your lines won't be even. Okay, and now I can go back, once I've got this all done here, I can go back and I can finish off those little lines. Just bring them right to the edge. And then once again, I'm going to flip the cardstock back, and I'm going to redefine that line going across. And there you go. Now you've created the look of an embossing folder or some sort of elegant embossing on the top, but you've created a defined line. This is nice and smooth for your greeting, and it almost gives you the look of pattern paper on the top and a different paper on the bottom. It's really neat. So grab your Scor-Buddy and a bunch of pre-cut sheets of cardstock, and then score a bunch of these and have them ready for mass-producing Thanksgiving and holiday cards. It's clean and simple and very elegant.